Hi there, Richard Vic Coughlin 616, and this is the video I said I was going to do. It's a follow-up to yesterday's video, the childish emo whore strikes again. Just clarifying and addressing certain points. First of all, for the slow-witted amongst you who thought I was actually making serious points throughout the video based on the statistics, the point of the video was when I was presenting statistics was that if you have an agenda you want to push on a certain issue, you can present statistics and then use those statistics on their own to claim something. And all I was doing in that video was using the same logic Thunderfoot applied in his video to other countries based on their contribution and scientific input. Another point I want to bring up. I did say make a few mistakes. One, I said that China is an atheist country that has banned religion. The banning of religion was something that was from quite a while. From a few decades ago. It's much more. It's not as that's changed since then. However, the government of China is recognized as an atheistic government, and when you define a country as Islamic, which Thunderfoot did, he's doing that. They're defined as Islamic based on the government themselves. Obviously, the people who live there do make a difference, because I used that as an example when I was talking about America's output. The fact is, America is 85% Christian, so it doesn't really matter in that respect. Because talking about the politics of the issue, the reason I didn't bring politics into it, I think politics is relevant to this. I think it's more relevant. I don't think it's the only factor either. But Thunderfoot doesn't want to mention that, so I didn't bother either. I was just simply, again, using his logic to address those certain points. I've got a big lump on my head. I fucking hit a screen door yesterday. Next one, a few people pointed out, they go, yes, but the scientists in America are largely atheists. Doesn't matter. What is the religion then, or what is the beliefs of the scientists who make up the 1% from the Islamic countries? You don't know, do you? Doesn't matter, because that wasn't what it was being linked to. But I did make that mistake. So yeah, and also people are saying that that larger percentage of people in China consider themselves Buddhist. Yes, but Buddhism is, whilst it is a religion, Buddhists are by and large atheists still. Right? They still are, and a lot of people said, yeah, but do they recognise themselves as that? Doesn't matter. They are. Also, there was one mistake I made when I was reading from the questions from Al-Khalili. That I made a mistake when I read. It was an honest mistake, and I apologise for making it. I said at one point, he goes, these people could not possibly be more advanced or civilized than we are. I actually misread that. It was these people couldn't possibly have been more advanced and civilized than we are. That obviously changes the context of the statement somewhat. It doesn't really change the overall point too much in the conclusion I drew from that. But nevertheless, it was a mistake. And I want to talk about making mistakes, because people are sitting there going, well, surely you're not saying that Islam is not anti-scientific. It must be. Look, all religion, to an extent, is anti-scientific. I think that any theocracy, any religious theocracy controlling a country, whether it is Islamic, Christian, or fucking Mormonism, yes, it's probably going. There's very little doubt in my mind that's going to have a hindrance on scientific advancement, right? But you cannot argue it based on a fallacy. Why? Because it's too easy for the people who are your opponents of that opinion to refute it. And it doesn't matter whether you think it's it's a minor point, oh, it's a little fallacy. Yeah, we all agree on it. What kind of argument does that? We all agree on it anyway. We all basically know that this is the case, so why can't we use that? Because if we let each other get away with one fallacy, then before you know it, we're making another one, and we make another one. If we don't jump down each other's throats when a fallacy or a piece of poor reasoning, a lack of logic, or any kind of bad argument, any piss poor argument is put forward. If our attitude is to go, well, fuck it, it doesn't matter, then before you know it, that's all we've got left. We've got no fucking integrity left. We've got no intellectual honesty. We've got absolutely no moral high ground, and we can't sit here and pass judgment on any other group who chooses to use that same line of piss poor fucking reasoning in an argument. And I can make something else clear for you here. Yes, of course, fundamentalist Islam is a threat, and I have never once denied that there are no fundamentalist or extremist Muslims. Of course there fucking are. I mean, I even had one guy yesterday say to me, he even had the gall to call me, say, people are starting to consider you an Islamist. First of all, if you're such an ignorant fucking moron that you're going to make that kind of statement, I don't care what you fucking think. You need to piss off and get a fucking life, because you're such an idiotic simpleton. I'm amazed that you're even able to type or turn a fucking computer on at this point. But the other thing I want to make is this, right? So the people who make this secret Muslim claim, or you're just, you're being sympathetic, or are you just being an apologist for terrorism and for Islam, and you're defending their beliefs? Let's say that that's true. Does that make my arguments any less valid? Let's say I'm sat here as a secret Muslim and my agenda is to appease Islam. Does that necessarily negate the arguments and the evidence I put forward? No, it doesn't, does it? The reason you bring that point up and the reason people ask that question is because they want it to negate the argument. They're trying to smear my character and trying to remove my credibility by insinuating that I have this sort of twisted fucking motivation for doing it. But the truth is, it doesn't even matter if I did. Because even if I did, my argument still stands and the evidence I present is still relevant. So it's a fucking meaningless question. So for all you people who bring that up, that's all you're doing. You're exposing yourself as the fucking ignorant fool you are. And if you have to lie about something, if you have to twist facts, doesn't that say something about your own fucking understanding? Because if something is that evil, if something is that terrifying, if something is that scary, why the fuck are you having to make shit up? Why can't you argue it based on its own merits? Why can't you do that? I'm not saying it's because the thing that we're discussing, in this case Islam, it does not have elements to it like that, because it certainly does. But I don't think you understand enough about it. I just think you've swallowed this, it's evil, it's evil, it's evil, therefore full stop. Even if something is abundantly fucking evil, it doesn't mean that you can still go around and say, well, we don't matter if we make shit up about it, right? Doesn't matter. Someone even said to me, surely you see there are flaws with Islam. Do you think there is nothing wrong with Islam? I am an atheist. I don't believe in a God. I don't believe in an all-powerful deity. I don't believe he created the universe. I don't believe he created life. I don't believe in heaven and hell. And I don't believe that our morals and our understanding of right and wrong are handed down to us by this, in an objective form, by this all-powerful being. So yeah, that's a pretty big fucking flaw, isn't it? It's a pretty big fucking problem. But just because I don't share that opinion does not mean I'm going to sit here and criticise it based on made up shit. Just because there's too many people out there who hate this religion or hate religion so fucking much that they're going to sit there and say, well, it doesn't matter that if we make shit up about it because it's evil. Let me ask you a question. Let's say someone makes a video, and in this video they say that Hitler used to do was he would eat deep fat fried fetuses that had been removed from pregnant women's stomachs with a fish hook, and then on a Friday night he would go to his underground cave beneath his house and anally rape the arsehole of his deceased grandmother's corpse with the neck of a frozen giraffe. If I make a video responding to that claim, saying that this is not true, Hitler did not do this, there is no evidence at all to suggest this, there was no underground bunker in his house, there were never any giraffes that he could have got hold of, certainly not able to freeze them, and there were no reports of women having their fetuses removed with fish hooks and given to Hitler so he could deep fat fry them. Am I now an apologist for Nazis? Or am I simply pointing out when something's wrong? If you don't care when something's wrong, if all you care about is proving that something's wrong, or proving that something is evil, and you don't care about how you do it, you're not a free thinker, you're not a rationalist, you're not intellectually honest, you have no integrity, and you're of no value to me or anyone else in the advancement of this conversation. I don't want to have to sit here and keep making these videos to Condell and Thunderfoot in the way that I have done. I don't like having to sit here having people tell me that I'm just an apologist for extremism and terrorists and the Taliban. I don't want that. But unfortunately, because of the bullshit that comes out of people like Condell's mouths and people like these fucking idiots on other websites and these people Dove Outreach Centre and Glenn Beck and Fox News and all these other fucking because of the lies they tell, I feel that it's my responsibility because someone has to point this out. I can't sit here in good conscience and let bullshit slide just because ultimately I don't agree with the thing they're slagging off anyway. And if you don't care about that, then fuck off. Don't have any use for you. Richard the Dick Coughlin, 616. Good night, may God be blessed.